In the shelter of your eyes, I have finally learned the song. Took so long to realize I just can't make it all alone. Words are only what they say, but this feeling isn't wrong. I'm so glad I found my way.
Don Williams.
You know, that voice is so iconic. We all grew up listening to, because our daddies were people who loved.
Yeah.
So one of the very popular songs, we should be together, together, we should be walking side by side, you know.
I mean, the soundtracks to our lives, every Don Williams song was just a hit. Yeah. Some broken hearts never mend.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Some broken hearts never mend. Oh, no, don't go there.
Look, we could just go on singing, but let's introduce our guest, Biodun Kukpolui, who already started singing with us.
Exactly. He's the publisher of the E247 magazine.
Yeah.
Well, lovers of country music just lost, certainly they're heartbroken world over when the news of Don Williams filtered in across the world.
Yeah, that he has passed at the age of 78. The gentle giant, that's what he was known as. He was an award-winning country music star, and his song topped the US country singles charts 17 times before his retirement last year.
Yeah, he's known for his rich baritone voice and sweet delivery of his songs. Some of his hits include I Believe in You, Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good, You're My Best Friend, Tulsa Time, Some Broken Hearts Never Mend, like we're saying.
Till the rivers all run dry. Back
you know.
in my younger days, it must be love. Among so many. Don Williams was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2010. Yes, of course, he couldn't make that particular event because he was ill with bronchitis, as we gathered. Biodun, good to have you on the show.
Great,
Don Williams, when you hear Don Williams, you know, so many of us didn't even know he was still alive, come to think of it, but his music is just eternal. What I mean, just
take it away.
Take it away.
What really came to your mind? How did you feel when you heard of his?
I felt we have lost a great songwriter, a great musician, a great guitarist. You know, Don Williams falls in the pantheon of great music stars. You know, his songs were always, and will continue to give hope and inspiration. You know, I'm sure your mood, you know, look at your rap this morning, from the heart to the soft, you know, and he has really softened your heart.
Yes.
You know, it's the kind of music that you listen to and you know, okay, I'm made for today. You know, it changes your heart. And I think it has to do with the fact that he went through a lot, you know, growing up, you know, as a young man from Texas, you know, and you know, his mother, what his mother went through, he was always with his mom. You know, his father abandoned them, walked away, married another woman. Even his father, you know, married his mother married 2 other men.
After.
You know, after, and then of course he was in the US Army. You know, you can imagine what he must have gone through. So for him,
maybe
I think
music was comforting for him.
Yeah. That's just it, you know. And the first song he sang, you know, We Should Be Together. Remember, that was his first song ever. After he left his group, you know, Peco Seco, and that changed his life, you know, and then he became a big star, you know, under Columbia Records, later to Sugar Hill. So he's somebody that I know the world can never forget. You know, like I said, he is an enormously talented artist and entertainer, and the world will always remember Don
It's amazing
Williams.
that he actually, you know, went to his first talent hunt at the age of 3, and he actually won that competition.
Yeah.
Obviously, that, you know, must have been the very beginning of the greatness that we come to know as Don Williams. Now, country music, you cannot talk about
country music without talking about people like Don Williams, Jim Reeves,
Dolly Parton.
the Dolly Partons of this world, and then much later the Kenny Rogers and the rest of them. We can only begin, talk about a few of the songs. We should be together, but come to think of it, when you listen to the lyrics that Don Williams had or came up with, these were lyrics that had meaning, that had import. Talk about that.
That's a great one. I don't think anybody can fill his shoes. I'm also very frank. Yes, we have some new, equally talented artists like Emily Jackson, Alan Jackson, Vince Gill, who have done great too. But the fact remains that what Don Williams represents or represented, cannot be quantified, because the kind of music he was singing and or that he sang to death, resonates with everybody, and that is a cue to all modern contemporary artists that, if you want something that is lasting, something that will forever portray you as a great artist, you need to sing songs that will give hope to people, that will inspire them. So, and I think, the likes of Don Williams, falls in that category. In Nigeria, it's also a good time for us to reason, to think about what we are doing. How lasting is that song that you are writing? So this guy inked a lot of songs that sometimes you will wonder, what was he thinking about? This guy is talking to me. That's Don Williams for you.
So he was able to connect to everybody in his own situation.
So he's a man who must have experienced a lot. And funny enough, he falls in the category of artists that had less controversy, despite his huge popularity
and success.
Unlike Kenny Rogers, you remember that lover man.
Exactly.
So he allowed his fame to be used positively. He channeled it positively, healing souls, broken hearts, and of course trying to create relationship, and of course using his music, to help the world to be a better place.
All right, certainly Don Williams will be seen as one of those legends in his own country music genre, different from how Michael Jackson was in hip hop and then Bob Marley in reggae, as the case may be. But if we look at country music, apart from America, outside of America, and maybe even the United Kingdom and all of that, how popular, when it comes to these days, it's contemporary, how popular is country music becoming? Is it climbing higher? Is it going down?
Well, I'm happy that the home of country music is Nashville, Tennessee. And of course, it's also very popular in Texas. But you see, the problem is this: the world is changing. I found out that Don Williams is huge in Africa, but I don't have any record of any visit, even in South Africa. The issue of apartheid and the people there, with background in Texas who came to South Africa, so it's quite huge there, and of course it's love in Nigeria. You see, there are some radio stations that still dedicate hours to country music playing, music, and that is to tell us that this music will live forever. It's unfortunate that the music that our younger generation listen to, are not as rich as this. But you see, they are blinded by the fact that they are yet to explore rich music, robust music that will heal wounds. That you listen to and then you say, oh, today I'm healed.
Especially at a time like this, where every segment of this country seems to be hurting.
That's it.
For one reason or the other. You want the music to,
calm you down.
Come in and do the healing. When I remember Don Williams, his music, for some reason, I don't know why, always reminds me of Sunday morning. It almost sounds like gospel music, which it necessarily was not or is not.
And they pull millions of copies. Their fans are not fanatical. They are matured minds, you know. And of course, it's not the kind of music that will require heavy equipment or whatever, you know. So you need to be sane to sing country music, you know. And I tell you, you know, they porn a lot. You know, they use porn a lot, you know, because that's the background. You know, they are people who actually know that this is what is going through your mind. You know, so they want to use sweet words, you know, to make sure that you are suited, and of course they're suiting you up, and then you are okay. You can imagine at this point in time, like you rightly say, some of these things, if our iPod brothers can listen to We Should Be Together, you know, or You're My Best Friend,
Exactly.
You know, You're My Bread When I'm Hungry. You know, you imagine, you look at the lyrics. When I'm hungry.
Oh my God.
You know, when you listen to such songs, and then you won't feel that, oh, you know, I remember when I was in secondary school, you know, you just get his lyrics and then you use it to write letters.
You write love letters.
Confession time.
It's like, no, of course, we're all guilty of that. You know.
But I don't remember reading any love letters of.
You were consuming them. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
If you find a good writer, you wouldn't know.
You would know.
Because the guy was just lazy, you know.
She was enjoying all the write-ups. I wouldn't know they come from those lyrics. Anyway, we have to leave you here now. A publisher, E247 Magazine. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, we will not leave you without leaving you with some of his great songs
from Don Williams. But this is where we wrap up for today and the week as well. Thank you very much for watching. I am Mike Okwacha.
And I'm Ngozi Alebu, wishing you a beautiful and rewarding weekend. Bye now.
Light of my life, fate should have made you a gentleman's wife, a man